Happy Saturday and welcome to Oaklawn Today, the Bayakoa edition. We are very excited as we have 11 amazing races on the card. Nancy Holthus, joined by track announcer Matt Dinnerman. Matt, such a good day of racing yesterday. It had the spirit of a Saturday card in April, but what a good vibe. We had 24,000 people out here to see potentially contenders for the Arkansas Derby and the Kentucky Derby.
That's right. That's what's so great about our three-year-old division here at Oaklawn. Every year we've got players that are probably going to be legit players come the first Saturday and first Friday in May as well, with our Martha Washington yesterday as well. You always ask me, Nancy, to grade days.
Yes.
Big days.
What'd you give it?
A+. A+.
That's huge.
It was, and A+s are not given that often.
No, they are not.
We need to be as honest as possible so we can try to do as good as we can when we analyze these things. Fact of the matter, we had to reschedule.
Yes.
Into Friday. 24,000 people on a Friday.
Yeah.
Our betting handle was over a Saturday on Southwest Day last year.
Really good.
The atmosphere is great. The weather was great. The track was fair.
Yep.
The races were exciting. A+. Everything about it yesterday was phenomenal. I had a hard time going to sleep last night because I was so fired up.
Did you really? Yeah. I went home and was just beat. I said, I'm going to watch the opening ceremonies of the Olympics. I think I made it 3 countries in, and then I was out. But yesterday, with the spirit of the Winter Olympics, I was thinking, okay, horse racing, who would be on the team? Definitely Mark Casse would be captain of USA.
He might be able to just play every position on the field.
Exactly. Give him a sport. There's probably nothing he can't handle because the Casse train just continued. Such an impressive thing. And the fact that we get to be in the front row to see all of this happen is so cool. So we're going to continue that amazing race vibe on to today. But let's take a look at our weather. It is beautiful outside today. Not going to be quite as warm. It did get a little warm yesterday. I have to say, we saw a few horses getting warm in the paddock. We do have a fast track. Winds out of the east at 5 miles per hour, partly sunny skies, and currently 45 degrees. As I mentioned, we come off such a peak of a day. A lot of people say, Southwest is okay, but it's really the Rebel where we get going. No, it all came to fruition yesterday. So much activity. So let's take a look at our news page. We had a lot of multiple wins, but we did see Macman light up the board at 20-1 in the General MacArthur. Foie Gras now earning back-to-back stakes with that victory in the Bugler. And Search Party finds the winner's circle in the Martha Washington. What a fantastic running. 20 points towards the starting gate of the Kentucky Oaks. And how about Silent Tactic? Roars late to score the Southwest at 12-1. So amazing day. Also, riding doubles for Javier Castellano, Abel Cedillo, Flavian Pratt, and Christian Torres. Mike Maker with a training double. And wow, Mark Casse, 4 wins. And 2 of those were earning points to the Kentucky Oaks and the Kentucky Derby. So a lot of excitement, and we certainly want to thank West Point Thoroughbreds for sponsoring our Ring the Bell yesterday. And also today, we are honored to have sponsorship by Anita Ebert Racing for today's Ring the Bell. So such a good thing, such a good vibe when we hear people, and it's now become a favorite thing for people to come to Oaklawn and get an opportunity to ring the bell. We certainly want to welcome Miss Arkansas, Kennedy Holland. She will be here on site. She will have an autograph signing session from 11:30 till 12:30. She's just on the north side of the paddock by the information booth. Also, today is Win the Wheel. 10 names will be called by Matt Dinnerman. After races 3 through 5, you have 10 minutes to get to the beer garden for your chance to win the wheel. And today, also, the 100 Southwest Stakes cash giveaway. You can go to the promotions table as well to sign up for that. That drawing will take place later tonight in the casino, and I get the honor of drawing the name. So very cool.
Nancy.
And a significant classics carryover going into today. just shy of $50,000. So make sure you start your homework for that Classics carryover. And also, Arkansas Derby winner Sandman is returning in race number 4. So excited to see him back on the track. And they were using this allowance race as a prep later for the Razorback. And Champ Nitrogen is favored in the Grade 3 Bayakoa. I'm gonna fangirl over her. I already know that I will. Love seeing her at the barn. Can't wait to see her in the paddock under tack. Live racing Sunday. Originally, we weren't carded to have live racing, but we're kind of making up for some of those days that we missed due to weather. So live racing tomorrow. And we want you to hang out after the races, have some ponies and then some pigskin, hang out in the Mainline Sports Bar for the big game. Lots of food promotions and drink specials as well. So still a lot going on in this weekend. Matt, we've got 11 really good races today.
Oh, sign me up for this.
I mean, this is such a good card. They just keep getting better. And it's one of those things where it's full fields. Everybody wants to participate, but I'm very excited about Nitrogen.
We see a lot of great fillies and mares that come through Hot Springs, Arkansas, and she looks to add her name to the list.
Yes.
Great fillies and mares. I wouldn't say she's a great filly or mare yet in terms of an all-time great, but she is an extremely talented filly. She's the class of the race today.
By far.
Hopefully racing fans in Arkansas come out here to see her just like they saw Torpedo Anna last year. We're very, very lucky here at Arkansas to have some of the best top equine athletes and stars come here rolling through.
Initially, her calendar was going to have her return to the races in the Azeri as a prep for the Apple Blossom, but she's doing so good. They want to go ahead and get a race in her and pivoted to the Bayakoa. So we all see that Mark Cassie can do no wrong. So it's almost a guaranteed return on your investment when you bet on a Cassie horse, but it blows my mind. I was talking to him in the paddock yesterday about how well the barn is doing, and how could it not be such a good vibe back at their barn? But he was very strategic in the horses that he chose to send here. So obviously that has completely paid off, and that was partially getting out our condition book so early prior to the meet. You can really kind of chart your horses who you want to bring here, and he has brought absolutely the best stock.
Any good horseman has a plan with each and every horse, including Steve Asmussen, who trains 400 horses.
Yeah.
The greatest horsemen I've seen all around the country, they have a plan for every horse. They have a plan for success, just like anything in real life, really.
Yeah.
And they implement the plan, and it works. And you have to trust your skill and your instinct, which I'm sure Mark Cassie has done. And he has done a phenomenal job picking out the talent that he feels would fit here. And obviously, he has done an A++ job with that.
Yeah, Nitrogen has $2 million in her bank account, and it is just rising. She was Sovereign Champion 2-year-old filly in Woodbine, just 2 starts. She didn't even win a race at Woodbine, but still earned the Sovereign Award for top 2-year-old filly, and she is our current reigning 3-year-old champion. So just so cool to have that caliber of horse just a few hundred yards away.
And who knows? Maybe we saw the Kentucky Derby winner yesterday. You don't know. We don't know.
We might have.
I feel like, man, if Mark Cassie keeps winning, he might build a house next to the Sella house over there, because I'll tell you this, he's having a fun time. And as you mentioned, I want to give a shout out to Kate and Arthur and pretty much everybody on the backstretch there in the Cassie stable. Especially with a large outfit, you're only as good as your help, and they have obviously done a phenomenal job. I'm not a horse trainer, but I guess my advice would be, if it's working, don't change anything. Just keep doing what you're doing. Exactly.
So let's go ahead and get into our 11-race card here on Bayakoa Day. We will start things off with 4-year-olds and up, nominators of 3, and they are in for the claiming price of $40,000, and will sprint 6 furlongs in distance, and no scratches or changes in the opener.
No scratches or changes here in the field of 9 to kick off our early pick 5. And last time out, Incursion did not run a great race that day. However, if you think about it, maybe not as subpar as it might look on the page, where he lost by 10, because the winner Getting By just ran a hole in the wind and ran a freak race that day. Coming back here in this spot, and for $40,000, this race, a 40-3 lifetime race, has been running against Starter Allowance Company, and 2 and 3 starts ago is narrowly behind the winner in second. So I think dropping in for 40, this is a tad easier group than what he's seen in the Starter Allowance conditions. Mike Maker had a good day yesterday with 2 wins, so we talked about maybe that pattern, seeing which horsemen and barns, which ones are thriving early on after we did miss about 9 or 10 days of training, and Mike Maker fits that check mark there. So Incursion is going to be my pick.
I like that. I'm going to go just to the inside of Matt's top pick with the number 4, Suncroft. Kind of a little slow start this season for the Jacobson barn. I certainly do see that lighting up as we get further into our meet. Rafael Bejarano with the number 4, Suncroft. Very lightly raced 6-year-old. Does exit a third in late December against tougher non-3 allowance. Ran a credible third. Kind of really pressed the pace throughout that. So I like that class relief back in for the tag. And its winner that last race was third to Speed King, who we did see recently run 4th in the 5th season. And Suncroft's numbers are trending the right direction. So one of the handicapping tools that I use is Thorough Manager, where they assign numbers to their performance, and his are trending towards the winner's circle. So we'll see how that fares in the opener on the Saturday program. Race number 2 is an $8,000 claiming event, 4-year-olds and up, and they will go 1 mile in distance. Did have a scratch of number 8 and number 14, but that does allow the 13 Liam B in the field.
Liam B in the field here at a big price, 20-1. I took Winner's Ghost in here. I thought last time out maybe he likes to be close, but he stalked the pace. He's a little bit better when he's on the lead. There's other pace in here. That's a concern. But I thought he made an early move to try to get to the lead because he's the type of horse, if he's not in front turning for home, he's not going to win. But it was an early move into a fast pace. They went 23:47. That's fast time over this track. And he got a little bit tired late in the game. I'm hoping maybe if they just time it a little bit differently this time, that maybe this horse can be a little more effective. His 2-back effort, he dueled on the lead for open $10,000 and won that day narrowly, but won also in game fashion. He's in for $8,000 today. Usually when you go from 10 to 8, it's not a huge drop down in class. Again, I'm concerned about the pace scenario a little bit because I do think there's other pace in here, but he's drawn outside of other speed, and his best race is probably good enough to beat this field here.
I'm going to go a few into the middle of the gate with the number 6 Wartime Hero, Mike Hewitt, giving the call to jockey Ramon Vasquez. This horse has been extremely popular in the claim box and in the money his last 6 starts, so definitely has some consistency coming into today's action. It's the first time that we've seen this now 9-year-old in 2026. He is going to stretch out after a second against starter allowance runners at Remington in early December, that going 7 furlongs. He typically doesn't travel too far off the pace, and I do like that Ramon Vasquez gets back up as he actually piloted him back-to-back wins in the summer at Remington, so he certainly does know this horse well. Race number 3 is a 50 starter, all 3-year-olds going 1 mile and a 16th, and unfortunately this is one of the races that was kind of decimated with scratches, so take a look there and change your programs if you've got them, but of course Matt will give you the full set of changes prior to racing here this afternoon, but it was quite a few long shots, Matt, so it didn't really affect only affected one decision making with Opus Uno, who is not going to be racing, but still we've seen these 50 starters be extremely tough.
They can be very difficult to win. You have to be on your A game to win races like this because you have good horses. And a lot of these runners in here that were scratched, Nancy, they're sprinters stretching out to route, trying to route anyway. Maybe they could route if we see them one day in the route game. But that's going to affect the pace scenario here. I think Misinformation number 4 is clearly the horse to beat in here. I'm going to tell you this, Nancy, and the viewers, there's sort of a disclaimer here.
Okay.
If I put a fish in a bathtub, I would not be able to reel it in the way my picks are going right now.
I was wondering where that was going.
Yeah. So you might want to steer clear just on the trend. We talk about this in the numbers game. My numbers are not trending in the right direction. They sort of have to go to the right direction. But
when you said that, that's very PG to the rated R version that was in my head that I'll tell you.
We'll say the over the PG rating stuff off air. Yeah,
and that's why we do it, because HR can't hear us on that one. I, too, am going to go with Misinformation. Mark Casse and Jose Ortiz, a very, very dominant duo. And I do like that class relief after a second against a little bit tougher company against first level allowance optional claiming 125. I love that Jose sticks around. Obviously, who wouldn't when you ride a two-time champion nitrogen this afternoon? And I like the fact that Jose was actually in the irons for both career wins, which came earlier in this runner's season. So really like the Mark Casse runners all today. I tried to do a Mark Casse show bet parlay.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's almost guaranteed
to hit,
right?
You like those patterns, huh? Making
I
it
do.
fun.
It's just kind of fun, you know.
Sure.
The show bet parlay is a great way if you're kind of the novice or not real interested in investing a whole lot of money, especially going with some friends and, you know, play that show bet parlay, and it's super fun when it gets rolling and just builds up and builds up and builds up. So, yeah, a great way, and especially here on track, you get that show bet bonus, which gives you a little bit more bang for your buck as well.
It's one of the rare instances on a racetrack where you see more money in the show pool than you do the place pool. And that's the reason. When I was at Golden Gate, it was always win at the most money in the pool, then place, then show. Here it's win, show, place, because a lot of folks on site are betting those shows knowing that they're going to get a little more bang for your buck, as you mentioned.
Love that. Race number 4, drum roll please. It is the return of the Arkansas Derby winner, Sandman, for Mark Casse. Jose Ortiz aboard. This is for a 4-year-old and up. Allowance optional claim price of $100,000, and they are going to contest a 1.16 miles in distance. Did have a couple scratches. We did see Sir Grayland yesterday, but Sandman drawing the rail for this 1.16 miles bid. So what are your thoughts on the last year's Arkansas Derby winner?
Well, I'm trying to beat him in this race. It appears that he has a pretty steady foundation of works with the 5 furlong drills, which tells me they've got him as fit as they can for the morning training alone. He's one of these horses that comes from off the pace. He's pace dependent. There's not a lot of speed in here. I guess bet against Mark Casse at your own will. I mean, he's the type of the barn's rolling well enough to where this horse could sit 5, 6, 7 lengths behind a 50 flat half mile and still win. They're all just running. But I'm going to try to beat him in this race. I picked Winnemac Avenue. This horse is a little bit of an in-and-outer, which I don't love in-and-outers because you can't really depend on him to run a good race. But when Winnemac Avenue shows up like he did last time out, he's very solid. And he lost to Seize the Night, who's a stakes winner here at Oaklawn. I think it's a pretty decent horse. I'm going to pick Winnemac Avenue for the Jimmy DeVito barn, who's 28% off a layoff between 45 and 180 days. And one thing I do want to note, Nancy, is that Jimmy DeVito, he lets him roll in the mornings.
Okay.
So the fact that this horse, for example, lost 9, 10 days of training, I don't think that's going to be a problem for a horse like him based on the trainer's pattern. Yeah,
and the DeVito barn doing fairly well this season, so kind of make sure you look for those contenders. I am going to go with Sandman. He comes off the shelf and returns to the overnight ranks, and this was kind of the schedule that they had patterned out for him all along. This will be a prep towards the Razorback at the end of the month. And visiting him at the barn several times, you can really see that he has matured physically, and they say he's matured mentally. So a lot of times you will see that as horses tend to get older. They're like good wine. They just get better with age. So very sharp works coming into today. Will get first Lasix and will test older runners for the first time today as well. So they ideally gave him a little time off after that 9th place finish. He did try the turf at Kentucky Downs, and that's a very different turf course than most because it's very European. You take a couple turns, go up the hill, down the hill. So, but yeah, got a good layoff after that, so I'm going to root for Sandman. He does love this surface, and especially that Jose Ortiz sticks around.
It doesn't surprise me that this horse has matured a little mentally according to what you've seen and heard because he's a Tappet, and the Tappet colts, they're a little bit skittish, I guess would be the right way to put it. Persnickety is a great word. Love the word, by the way. Love that choice of verbiage. Persnickety. Tappet, I remember Lonnie, that horse in the Belmont Stakes. I mean, they had to saddle him way away from everybody else, and they had a big fence in front of his stall. I mean, they get a little goofy down the stretch sometimes in the races. So as they mature, though, as they get older, they do mature. So that doesn't surprise me.
It'd be very interesting to see how Sandman plays out in this allowance. Let's get to race number 5 before we take a quick break. This is for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward, a first-level allowance, and they'll contest a 1.16 miles in distance. The 13 will draw in and also make the pilot on the number 12 Showers, Jose Ortiz. I saw he was picking up a few yesterday as well, but a really solid field as we start off this sequence of a 50-cent pick 5.
Well, I really like Gins Beach Road in this race. So when I saw her scratch,
I
said, I put my head down and said, all right, well, I guess sometimes I've said it before. Sometimes when they scratch, it's a blessing in disguise for the handicapper because maybe they weren't ready to run their best race.
Yeah.
So maybe steering my money in a different direction isn't such a bad thing after all. Pronghorn's my pick. I'm the type of guy, I understand how hard it is for horses that are lightly raced like Pronghorn, just winning a maiden race in lifetime start number 3 and then going up against horses that have run 16, 17, 19 times. It's not easy to do. That said, I watched her last workout, and I thought she looked fantastic in that work. I gave her a good letter grade there. Looks like she's taken a step forward since just a dominating maiden win last time out. Her first race was sprinting at the fairground. She's probably not a sprinter. Cross it out. Took some time off after that run, too. Came back and was 4th best, close to a decent pace, a fast one where they went 45-1 going a mile and got a little bit tired. Then second start off the layoff, she got a clear lead last time and drove off to win for fun. That's the only question mark. Is that can she deal with pace presence and also proving winners? But I'm thinking Pronghorn in this race has the physical ability to take that leap forward and against winners, so I'm going to pick her.
I'm going to go with the Burl McBride contender. That's Carrie's Kiss. This horse loves running second. So hopefully can get past that today. Has run 6 seconds in 11 career starts, 4 seconds in 7 starts. On track right here, but was just nosed out for the win last go. When facing similar, there's a few speedsters to his outside, but loves to be involved early. He's got that what I call horse racing FOMO. Doesn't want to miss out because there might be something out on the front end. But yeah, Carrie's Kiss, my top selection for the Burl McBride barn. Burl has been a long-time stayer here at Oaklawn. Rode here as a jockey and just stopped galloping his own horses maybe 5 or 6 years ago. So always good to cheer for the Burl McBride barn. So that's my selection in race number 5. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, the second half of Saturday's program.
Mardi Gras is coming to Oaklawn, and your swipe might just crown you king of the winnings. It's simple. Swipe, enter, and join the parade of prizes in our Mardi Gras giveaway. With double entries on Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays, plus single entries on Saturdays. Chase the beads, the bets, and the big wins from your swipe to the final Mardi Gras celebration on Saturday, February 14th, where 4 winners will each take home $100 race bet after races 1 through 6. The party rolls on after race 7, where 1 winner will capture the crown, a trip to New Orleans. The parades, the prizes, the party. It's all here at Oaklawn, where Mardi Gras meets winning. So let the good times roll.
They're down the stretch of the Bayakoa. Wildbound Hillary still in front. Free like a girl, chasing with determination. Wildbound Hillary. CJ McMahon holding off Free like a girl. Who's plunging in love? Wildbound Hillary in a photo.
Back with the Saturday action here at Oaklawn today. Race 6 we pick up is first leg of the $1 Classics. So pretty big carryover of just shy of $50,000 already in the pool, waiting for you to take some of that coin. So we do have a full field of 12 to start things off, and just scratches of the also eligibles, as this is a allowance for fillies and mares, or excuse me, claiming for fillies and mares 3 and up, which have never won 2 races. Claiming price is $16,000, and I just looked at the race name. She said yes. So I think somebody's out here celebrating a future nuptials, I guess we can say. But Matt, full field of 12 to kick us off. Where'd you go?
good luck to the soon-to-be newly married couple, and good luck picking a winner here, because I had a difficult time doing it. So I said, you know what? Let's go with a price, shall we? Chica Arma is going to be my plan here. Cutting the claiming price in half. When you don't run well for $32,000 non-2 life, there's this sort of a little angle where you cut the claiming price in half, and horses can be a lot more competitive. And even though she didn't run well that day, again, this is an easier group. Her 3-back race here at Oaklawn, the last time we saw her here last year, she, I thought, ran a really good race for 15 non-2, which is exactly the same thing as this, except for the fact that the tag was a little bit different. So her best race, this is a right spot for her to run well. And at 10-1 on the morning line, which I think we're probably going to get, if not a little more, that's my long shot play today.
I love it. I'm going to go with the number 12, What's Her Number? David Fox and Luis Saez team up here. Certainly could have needed that race last out. She came back in early January, and that was her return from mid-June. Sometimes horses need a race just to get their legs back under them. So now second start off the break, where the Fox barn does extremely well, about 22%. Again, that first race back did take on similar, got away a little slow and flattened out late to finish fourth. But again, second time out, sometimes these horses really do seem to thrive. They just needed to get their feet wet to start things. So, yeah, I'm going to go with What's Her Number? And she said yes. How convenient is that?
I love that.
I think that's
a hunch play.
That's kind of cool,
right?
Isn't it though? She gave me your digits. Race number 7, we are going to feature Arkansas bred 3-year-olds and up, non-2. Claiming price is $20,000, and they will contest 6 furlongs in distance. Did have a late scratch of the number 7.
Nancy.
I know. I'm sorry. It was a late pick. The Stews came in and informed me, taking out numbers 7, 12, 14, but the 13 is going to draw in. So, Matt, who do you now scratch into?
I guess I picked Naderade. Wow. I mean, I actually really like Giant Moon. I think the 2 strongest opinions, along with my first race pick, were the strongest opinions. So 2 of the 3 scratched. Sometimes that's how that goes. But Naderade, this horse ran against Open last time out for Tom Vanberg. Did not run well. Was also about 30-1. And Tom Vanberg, I know it's an extremely small sample size. He's 2 for 6 with runners second off a layoff over 180 days. In the 3 years that I've been calling races here, I've noticed Tom's horses almost always improve second start in a form cycle. He was getting a race into that run, I think, for 30-1 type of odds. He probably put him in for the 12-5 tag and said, you know what? Nobody's probably going to claim this horse. Let's get a race into him and then run him against Archie Breds here. Makes a lot of sense. Naderade's the pick. Amir Mendoza, pretty decent apprentice who's done good work so far. He's got the call here.
Yeah, he's had a really good meet so far. And just a side note, I just saw our reigning Miss Arkansas walk by. So
where is she?
Kennedy is on
there
property.
She is, right over there.
So very excited to have her here, enjoying a day at the races with us.
I have to say, Nancy, I've met the previous 2 Miss Arkansas. They come to a booth and watch a race, and hopefully Kennedy can do that.
Oh, she absolutely will.
I hope so. And one thing I've learned about being Miss Arkansas, you are the whole package. I mean, you define intelligence, beauty, charm,
poise,
elegance,
grace.
Poise.
Yes.
Very, very impressive what these ladies have gone on to do to win an award. And surely even the minor placers, you meet them and they're really sharp and they do great work for the community.
And they get a lot of scholarship money to continue their education. So it's now basically a scholarship program. Yeah. But yeah, very fortunate to have them on property. And she did hit the top 11 at Miss America. So she won a prelim talent award. Really so she is absolutely the perfect queen to come and join us today. Here for the 7th, though, I'm going to take on number 8, Lord Hennessy. I did scratch into this runner. Ronnie Cravens and Ramon Vasquez team up here. Actually returned to State Bred Company last out, facing similar to finish 4th. Very sharp out of the gate, and his numbers are certainly trending in the right way. So we're going to see how we can get Lord Hennessy in the winner's circle today.
All right.
Race number 8, moving along. 4-year-olds and up, non-winners of 3. Interesting claim price, $24,000, a mile and a 16th. And now we got you full field of 12.
There you go. We love full fields here at Oaklawn. And Heroes Medal is going to be my pick in here. First off the claim for Cameron Milligan, 2 for 5 first off the claim for him. Young conditioner who does well and has also done well with price horses we've seen last year. Heroes Medal in for the tag. He's bumping up in class here. And last time out, This horse looked like he was going to win. Then he drifted out down the lane, and he lost a little bit of momentum doing that, and that might have cost him there. Removing blinkers today, which is an interesting move, because this horse has run with blinkers for, his last 5-6 races. We actually saw him in a 30-2 lifetime race at a one-turn mile, and this horse won for fun for the Linda Rice barn, where it's hard to improve off of them. But this horse here is one of these guys that if he just figures things out, he's going to be around, and he's 5-1, willing to take a shot.
Very aggressive entry by the Mark Cassie barn as they send out the number 3 determinedly. Christian Torres in the irons hasn't seen the winner's circle. It's been a minute. You got to go all the way back to late January of 2023, the last time he did get his picture taken, but he does get a boost today as he drops in class and also runs for the beaten tag and also comes in 3rd off an extended layoff. So definitely like this horse on the drop. It's a fairly aggressive entry. And yesterday, if you notice, Christian Torres is a little bit different. He's got the stash going on.
I love that you asked him about that in the post.
Well, it's funny because, I mean, personally, I'm not big on facial hair, but to each his own. But it was so funny because I said, Christian, what's the deal? He says, I won 2 stakes with it. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
So Derek from International Sound is witty enough to say, I mustache you a question, which I did yesterday. I don't know if anybody caught it, but that's the the second thing I asked Christian. I said, I mustache you a question. So, yeah, I don't think the stash is going anywhere anytime soon.
And his wife, Valerie, she told me, she goes, I like the mustache. So, if your wife likes the mustache, you keep the mustache.
Keep it.
Yeah, smart idea.
Very much so. Race number 9 is our feature event. It is the 34th running of the Grade 3 Bayakoa, a mile and a 16th. These runners will take on later the Azeri, eventually the Apple Blossom. Did have a scratch of the number 3, and Mark Cassie is well represented in here as he bookends the field.
Look, Nitrogen's the horse to beat, right? And she is the class of the race by far. And Quiet Side's a nice filly. She's running here. She won the Fantasy last year, but she's not at the level Nitrogen is. Nitrogen's my pick. I think if she's anywhere decently fit, she wins. But she's only had 3 workouts since November. She took a little bit of time during that winter break. I picked her. I just couldn't make a case for anybody other than her. But if you say, hey, I'm trying to beat her, I would also understand that. Because if you try to beat her, today's the day. In terms of looking, if this was second off a layoff, I would say she's as much of a lock as you can find in horse racing. I think that would be the only way she loses, is if maybe the fitness level isn't quite there. Somebody runs their A++ race and is able to, find her on a day where she's maybe compromised fitness-wise. But she's got a great running style, Nancy. She can stalk the pace. She can be close. She can sit off. She won the Alabama last year. She was second in the Breeders' Cup Distaff. Really quality filly here.
I mean, to look at her past performances, see that she's talented on dirt. She's talented on the turf. She's talented on synthetic. Not anything that this girl can't do. Cassie was so impressed with her last work. She galloped out strong. He said she hardly took a breath. Okay. That's why we are here. Now, he also acknowledges that she's not at her very best, but I think her 90% best will still trump the field.
I agree with that. And and the big money's on dirt, so I get it. I have this, not necessarily a crazy theory. I think she's as good, if not better, on the grass, but because she's still very talented on the dirt, they can run her on the dirt and run her in these big races. She is very versatile.
Yeah.
And she's as versatile as they come.
And it's interesting that originally the Azeri was the first target for her, but she's doing so well, they're going to run her in the Bayakoa. So you got to really think that her 90% is very good. Imagine what she's at when she's 100%.
Absolutely.
Wow.
She's just a quality race filly. She's got good pedigree. And let's just say this. If they put her in the sales ring today, it's going to be a lot of coin for her.
Oh, my gosh. But it's so cool to see when you go to Mark Cassie's barn, basically one whole side of the shed row is stakes winners. Yeah. And she's kind of down at the far end. You'd think she'd be the first one by the office, but I think she likes to look out and see what else is going on outside. And a lot of times these fillies, they can be a little naughty. Sometimes they're on the muscle. They don't want people messing with them, but she is a pure joy to be around.
Oh, that's
you
lovely.
have to love that. She kind of reminds me of her personality, a little bit of Secret Oath, who was just such a cool horse. So
I'm going to have to go back there and meet her.
She's so, I'm just a fangirl. You brought up yesterday, celebrities, you see them, athletes, you see them. we fan over horses.
Yeah, I get starstruck by certain horses. People, everybody's, we all have to put our pants on in the morning to go to work. But horses, there's something about them that just gets the juices flowing. And
I agree.
That's why I fell in love with the game, Nancy, is because I was around the horses early, and I was just mesmerized by the whole thing.
It's funny when people try to, and this is specific, when husbands try to get their wives to convince them about going in on horse racing, a trip to the barn seals the deal.
Absolutely. And horses are very therapeutic, as we've
Extremely.
seen even with special needs folks.
Yeah.
And they're amazing animals. And when I was really small, early on, a couple people would say, well, horses, they're okay, average intelligence. I think some of them are extremely smart.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Some of them can get a little silly sometimes, as we know.
As we know.
Horses are very intelligent animals. And
they're
even
instinctive.
You bring like a little tiny kid around and you see a nasty mare, for example.
calm
They'll be as
down.
kind as can be. They're very smart animals.
And a true story is a lot of times when horses can be kind of nasty, if you have to walk them, a child or a person that may have been inebriated at some point, it calms them down. I don't know what it is, but they're just those gentle giants that they can be. So they have both of our hearts.
Oh, definitely.
Race number 10 is the first leg of the $5 late double. This is for 4 and up, a second level allowance. Option claim price of $62,500. And we do have two horses in for the tag, and they're going to go 6 furlongs, but scratches of numbers 3, 6, and 12. 3, 6, and 12 out, which does allow the 13th surveillance to draw in.
This is a really good race. 10 horses left in the field, so double-digit horses still remain in this second-level allowance. We're going all the way to the inside, and they say the easiest way in terms of ground making up or loss to get to the finish line is to save ground, and Second ID is going to be able to do that. This horse, look who we ran against last time. You ran on the Ring the Bell and ran fourth to Tejano Twist, Roll on Big Joe, Banishing. Actually finished ahead of Skelly that day, who's since been retired. But Second ID in his field, look, you don't have any slouches in this race, but they're not quite as sharp as those caliber horses. So I think Second ID is really solid. I mean, he was second, beaten a half length 2 starts ago to Rivet, who was an allowance winner here and beat Tejano Twist. We saw this horse last summer run second to Glenn Gary, who's a stakes winner at Keeneland. So all that said, he needs to work out a good trip from the rail. I don't think he needs the lead, but he likes to be close. So how Alfredo Triana rides this race, it's going to be interesting. He's going to have to work out a good trip, but who he's run against really stood out to me.
Well, my long shot play of the day is in this field, and that's the number 7, Linzer. Sippy Contreras giving the call to jockey Manny Escobar, was third after setting some nice fractions on the front end. Just got a little tired late, beaten shy of a length, and that was in the Oaklawn debut. I definitely see this horse moving forward. Loves to be out front. So I do think that Linzer is going to be the one to catch in race number 10. The finale of Bayacoa Saturday is for 3-year-old fillies, maiden claiming 30,000, 3/4 of a mile. They will contest, and because we do have a scratch in the body, the 13 Cowboy Killer draws in.
Yes, and Danilo Grisales Rave rides number 4, Corda. Fernando Hara, I just heard this morning from his agent Anthony, he's going to take a little break from horse racing, so we hope to see him back soon.
Oh, nice.
Just taking a little break. That happens sometimes where you just need a little recharge,
Yep.
I am going to pick Justice Edition in this race. Coming off a 3rd place finish for maiden 40 last time out, this horse did not break well at all. And it's interesting because this horse has been close to the pace in his first 2 races, and after that bad break, he sat well behind and ran on for 3rd. The winner, NZ Hawley, actually a runner that Rudy Brisset, I know he even mentioned her as being a runner that maybe one day can try an allowance or stake race, even though she won for a tag as part of his 3-year-old filly contingent in the Daily Racing Forbes Mary Rampolini article. I think this horse with a better break this time, we saw that she has the ability to come from off the pace off her last race, so maybe she's versatile enough. And in for 30 today, I do think this is a much lighter group than a runner like NZ Hawley, who if she was still a maiden, she'd be 3 to 5 in this race.
Yeah, I'm on this runner as well. Justice Edition does race second off the claim, and the Contreras barn is 16% when doing so, and hopefully a little better experience in the starting gate will find this runner much closer to the pace and hopefully lead the way in the stretch. The track played really fair yesterday. There were only a handful of horses that came from off of it. One of those was Silent Tactic, but very impressive how kind of when I handicap, who has potential to be at the top of the lane in the stretch.
Absolutely. And that's, I think, a big key with getting a good trip is being in a good position wherever you need to be. Horses have different running styles, but A, getting a good position early on in the race, and B, right when they turn for home, when they start running, you want to be in a good position, especially in a big field like that. He actually was fairly far out of it turning for home, but Christian got him outside in the clear. His sire Tacitus was sort of a plotter type. He needed to just keep him going, and this horse is a little more of a kick than his sire, but the fact that he put him in an outside position to get a good spot to make his run, that was a big, important difference maker to winning versus maybe getting stopped and losing the chance of winning.
And I think my favorite point in the race was at the finish line when Christian Torres is celebrating. It just makes me so happy because that happiness and that joy is addictive.
And that's why you talk to jockeys. That's why they do it, because they love the thrill
rush.
And the rush. And look, we don't see the behind-the-scenes work. You're talking about guys and gals, not just jockeys, trainers, grooms, everybody associated with the backstretch. They have early mornings.
Yes.
Sometimes they beat their alarm clock, which is not easy to do. And they work hard every morning. They don't get a lot of days off. All that work, it's like, hey, I earned it. It was all worth that hard work. When you win a race like that, or even if you just win a race that's important to you, no matter what level it is.
Yeah, and we wouldn't be employed if it wasn't for those hard workers on the backside. In addition to our 11 race selections, we also have a $20 show bet bonus parlay. Our long shot and top pick, Matt's going to go with the opener. Incursion go races 1, 3, 9, 10. Well, I'm going to go 3, 4, 8, 9, my Mark Cassie show bet bonus. Long shot for the day, Chica Arma for Matt in the 6th, and I'm going to go race number 10 with Linzer. My top pick is Nitrogen in the Grade 3 Bayacoa. Matt goes a few races earlier with Misinformation in race number 3. Just a reminder that Miss Arkansas, Kennedy Holland, is here for that autograph signing session. Go get your picture taken. Tell her how proud we are from the Arkansans that she is our representative. So lots going on today. Win the Wheel, the $100,000 Southwest Stakes cash giveaway is going on. It's like we crammed 2 weekends of all this goodness into just a couple of days. So the vibe is amazing.
There were 5 people yesterday who won $2,000. I mean, what a great payday.
Not a bad day.
And they didn't even have to put a single penny into a wager.
Exactly.
They made $2,000. So there's more of that here at Oaklawn Park.
Lots to happen, and First Post is noon. Don't forget, First Post is noon tomorrow as well. Live racing. Stick around after the last and join us in Mainline Sports Bar. Lots of drink specials, lots of food specials. Be a great day to spend your Sunday. For Matt Dinnerman, I'm Nancy Holthus. Good luck and good racing.